Hello friends, today is the 22nd day of Flutter and today we are going to see tooltip and slider. Now a tooltip in Flutter tooltip is a material design widget which is basically used to let the user know about the functionalities that are provided by a particular button or UI widget. So when a widget is equipped inside tooltip and on long presses on that particular widget, the tooltip will be visible as a floating label. So we can uh, use this tooltip whenever we want the user to know about the functionalities that are to be provided by a particular widget. Now slider is a material design widget which is used to show some particular values. So in slider we can change the value and we can select a range of values by just dragging or pressing on that particular widget. So let's jump to the code and see the features and functionalities that are provided by this both widget. So here is our app. Now we are going to remove this scaffold from here and we are going to create one stateless. Okay, we are going to create stateless widget. No need to use stateful widget. So inside this stateless widget, we are going to create tooltip widget first. Now we will call this tooltip inside this. Now we are going to hit Control and S. Now as we are having one container, we will remove it and make it scaffold. Inside this, we are going to specify the app bar. Now inside app bar, the title should be wrapped inside the text widget and the title should be tooltip. Now just hit Control and S. Now you can see one app bar. Now we are going to create the body of our scaffold. So it will be one container. Now in the child of this container will be tooltip and the child of this will be anything, like we can create flat button or icon directly inside this child. And now I'm going to specify the icon inside this flat button. So I'm going to use the I'm not going to use this alarm. I'll just hit Control and S. Here is one error, that is message should not be equal to null. So the property of tooltip, which is message, which is the main purpose of this tooltip widget, should not be null. So set alarm. Now just hit Control and S. Now you can see here is one icon. Now we are going to increase the size of this to somewhat 150. Now just hit Control and S. Now align this child of this container to center. Now it's done. Now you can long press on it. Now you can see here is the set alarm message. That is the purpose of this icon. And we can also change the property of this by using the other property. We can also change the visibility and waiting time of our message by using the property like wait duration, and can specify it in seconds like 2, 3, 4 according. Now the second one is show duration. Now we are going to specify it also in seconds, somewhat about 3. Now we can see that the show duration and wait duration has been increased. Now we are going to change the style of this message. So we can change it by using the text style property, and we are going to use the text style widget for this, and we are going to increase the font size to about 20, and the color of the text should be color dot, not blue, it should be it should be red. Now just long press on this. Now you can see here is the font size has been increased and the color has been changed. Now we are going to change the decoration of our tooltip by using the decoration property. So we will use the box decoration widget, and inside this we are going to specify first of all the color. So the color should be blue, and we can also change the border radius. So I will make the radius of that somewhat about 20. Now just hit Ctrl and S. Now you can see the background color has been changed to blue, and the radius of the border has been increased. Now uh, we are going to change the color of this. I'm going to make it white. Just hit Ctrl and S. Okay, now it's perfect. Now this is all about the tooltip widget. We can wrap anything inside this tooltip whenever we want to show the uh, functionality that is provided by a particular widget. So second, we are going to create sliders. So for that, what we have to do, we are going to create one stateful widget. Now it will be slider. Now inside this slider we are going to specify one initial value to the slider, that should be about 6. Now we are going to create one slider. So before that, just make it scaffold. Specify the upper. Inside this upper we are going to specify the proper. Okay, title should be used, and it will be wrapped inside text widget. So now we are creating one slider. Now just hit Ctrl and S. Okay, we haven't called this class yet. So just remove this tooltip widget and put the slider with. Now you can see we are calling this one. Now we are going to create the body of our scaffold. So I will create one row, and inside this it should be children. Now the first one will be one icon, that will be the icon dot volume up. Just hit Ctrl and S. Now here you can see we are going to give some padding to this by using the padding up widget. So just use this padding and make this edge. Okay, instead of, okay, we are going to use medium, and we'll specify 20. Now the child should be the icon. I just hit Ctrl and S. Now we are going to specify the mean axis alignment to be at center. So just hit Ctrl and S, and we are going to create another child of this, that is it will be in X. Okay, not inside the padding. We will wrap it inside expanded, so it will cover the whole space. The child of this will be slider. So we are going to specify the slider inside this. So just hit Ctrl and S. Now we are having an error, that is value should not be equal to null. So the required property of this slider widget is value, and we are going to specify this value initially. Now okay, we have to also specify the minimum and maximum value. So use this property maximum and use the property minimum, and it should be 1. Now just hit Ctrl and S. Now you can see we are having one slider that is having maximum value 20, minimum 1, and the initial value is 6. Now we are going to increase the size of this icon to somewhat 20. Okay, make it 50. Okay, now it's perfect. Now we are going to specify the color of this slider. So we can specify some active color also, and it should be green or blue or anything. And other color is hover color, or we can change the other color of this also. So by using the background color property, okay, in active color, okay. So color dot, we are going to use red for that. Just hit Control and S. Okay, now you can't change see any changes, because to see the changes we have to specify this on change property, and inside this on change we have to specify new value. So for that, value will be in double. So we are going to specify new value, and we are going to return the value. I just hit Control and S. Now you can see the color has been changed, and this on changed with property we have to use the set state method, and have to specify the new value to get. Now okay, we have to again make it double. Now we can see the changes inside this. Okay, we have to use the round. Just hit Control. Again we are okay, instead of this we have to use semicolon. Now we can change the values of this. You can see we can also specify label to this, that is label, and in set of volume just hit Control and S. Now whenever you will change, okay, we have to also make this label visible into this. So for that we can use the semantic formatter callback property. So this was all about the slider. So now we are going to create one slider of images. So for that we have to import one package, which is swiper, Flutter swiper. So for that we have to open the Dart packages. Now inside this search for Flutter swiper, not sliders, swiper. Okay, here is this. Now we have to install it inside the pubspec.yaml file. So just add this dependency inside the pubspec.yaml file. Now we are going to create image slider. So it will be stateless widget only, and image slider. So we are going to use contain, okay, it will be all right, and we are going to create one child of swiper. So just use the swiper method, and image slider, create this widget, and we will call this widget inside here child. Before that we are going to specify the build context to be passed as a required parameter. So here we will call the image slider. Now we are going to return swiper. Okay, we will return new swiper. Now inside this swiper, okay, it is returning, so we have to specify the semicolon also. So inside this swiper the required parameters have to be mentioned. So the first one is 10. Okay, we have to make the autoplay as true. We are not going to move the image. Now the third one is item builder. So we have to specify the build context, and we have to specify the integer. index. Now we are going to return something inside this. I'll just return, we can return image. Now we are going to provide the URL of the image. So we are not going to use other property. Now we are going to copy the URL of any of the image. So just copy the link of any image. So just open it and copy the image address from here and paste it inside this. Okay, it is not of JPEG type. Let me show, is this image only or something else? Okay, it is the website link. We have to look for the image URL. So we are going to paste. Okay, it's also not the image URL. So just now we are going to copy the image address and paste it. Okay, it is the image URL as it is having the extension at JPG. Now we can call this image slider inside our main app, that is my app, and we are going to call the image slider. Now just hit Ctrl and S. Now you can see there, here is our sliders, and as we have specified autoplay as true, so it is the images are changing by default. So we are going to change the width of this. So let's, okay, we are going to specify the padding property. So edge dot, okay, instead of just make it all, get somewhat 40, and I'm going to specify margin also. Okay, 40. Okay, it is making the image much smaller, so let it. Now we are going to use some other property like constraint box, constraint dot expand, and we'll make the height as 200. Let's see. Okay, it's taking the image size by default, so no need to specify the constraint. I'll leave it as it is. So the other property we are going to use is fit box fit dot cover. Just hit Control and S. Okay, so here you can change the fitting property of the image also. I'm just going to remove this and just hit Control and S. It's alright. Now this was all about the tooltip and slider. Hello friends, today is the 23rd day of Flutter and today we are going to see switch and table. So basically a table allows the user to arrange the data in rows and columns. It is used to store and display our data in a structured format, which help us to compare the pairs of related values easily. Similarly, Flutter also allows the user to create a table layout in the mobile application. We can create a table in Flutter using the table widget that uses the table layout algorithm for its children. So we will see the table widget, and the second one is switch. So a switch is a two-state user interface element used to toggle between on or off states. Typically, it is a button with a thumb slider where the user can drag back and forth to choose an option in the form of on or off. Its working is similar to the house electricity switches. So we will look both this widget in this video. So let's jump to the coding part. So first of all, we are going to create the switch. So for that, I will be creating one stateful widget for switch widget. Now I will remove this scaffold from here and call the switch widget. Here H is remaining. We have to again change this H. Simply remove this stateful switch widget. It's done. Now just hit Ctrl and X. Now as we are having one scaffold, instead of that we will create, instead of container we will create scaffold. Now give abba title wrap inside text widget. So the heading will be switch. Now body part. So the body will contain one container, and inside that container the child will be, just hit Control and S. Okay, failed assertion. Okay, this switch, in switch we have to pass the values. So for that we have to create one boolean variable. So we will create the variables that are required. So the first one is boolean state, switch state, on or off. So it will be switch state. Initially it will be false, and again we will create one variable that will be storing the string that switches on or off. So switch is on. Now we will create one method that will be displaying the state, display state, that whether the switch is on or off. So we will specify this inside this function. So this, so inside this we are going to change the state also, that is if switch is off then we will we will turn it on, and if the switch is on then we will turn it off. So for that we have to first check the condition that if switch state is switch state is equal to false, then we are going to convert it to true, and if it is true then we will make it false. So these two conditions will be there. Now first of all we have to take the value, so we will take the value of the switch state. After that we will set the state, that is if the switch is false, that if the switch state is false then we will make it true, and if it is true then we will make it false. And again we have to change the string of the text, that when the when switch state is false then the statement should be switch is off, and when the switch state is true then the statement should be switch is on. So just going to do the same in the else state, and just going to make it false, and the statement will have off. Now it's the method is done. Now we will first of all we will expand this inside transform.scale, and we'll give some scale to it, that is 2. And now we will create the child of this transform scale. So the child should be switch. Now we have to provide the function, that is the method which we have created, that is display state. So just call this display state. Now we are going to specify inside the value the variable which we have created, that is switch state. And after that just hit Ctrl and S. Now you can see there is one switch at the top left position. So then now we will make it align at center. Just hit Ctrl and S. Now instead of this column, instead of this container, we will use column, so that we can print this text value also. So just paste it over here, and the next would be text. So text value, and just hit Ctrl and S. So here is the switch is off. Okay, we will align it. Main axis alignment should be at center. So just hit Ctrl and S. So here is our switch which we can on and off. And according to the uh, uh, pressing, the statement will be changed because we have specified the values inside this set state. So we can also change the color of this active color and inactive color. So we will specify it inside which widget. So we can give active color dot green or red or some like that. So if it is active, then it will be green. If it is inactive, then it will be gray. So we will change the inactive color also. So for that, just we are going to specify one another color, can be anything. So the inactive thumb color is changed to orange. Now we are going to specify the track color, that is this part. So we will change it to yellow. The Now you can see that active track color is yellow and inactive color is by default gray. So we will also change the inactive track color and will make it blue. Now just hit Ctrl and S. Now you can see. Now just toggle it. Now it's done. So this is all about the switch widget. We can specify the properties of it inside to change the properties, and we can also uh, change the active color and inactive color. So this was all about the switch. Now we will create one table. So for that, again I am going to create one stateful widget, that is table widget. Now we are going to create one table. So first of all, we will create scaffold. We'll specify abba title, and that will be table. Now just hit Ctrl and S. Before that, just call the table widget inside our main app. So here is this. Now it's having abba title as table. Now we will create body. So we will create one container and just hit Control and S. Now we are going to create child of this container, and that will be table. Yeah. Now we are going to specify the properties of this. Before that we will create children. So as we know, table is in form of rows and columns. So we will create rows of this column of this table. So here is the table row. Now we can also specify the table cell. So inside this table row we want two columns. So we can specify it inside this children. Now we will create column. Now the column can have children. So the first children can be, so this is single row. First row having first column. So it is having a name. I just hit Control and S. Now you can see here is one row having one column. So again we will create multiple rows. So I am going to create 3 row. Just hit Control and S. So here is 3 row, and in each row I will create 3 column. So just hit Control and S. Okay, table contains irregular. Okay, because we are not having same number of column in each row, that's why we are getting this error. We will solve it. I just hit Control and S. Now you can see. So each row is having 3 columns and we are having 3 rows. So we can change the styling of this text. We can also create more columns inside one single row. We have created only 3 rows till now. We can also create more. So this was the table row. So we are going to change some properties, like we are going to add some properties. So we are going to use the default column width. So we will specify the width that should be given to each column. So we can use the fixed column width widget for this and can specify the width. Now each will have 100 pixels. Now we can also specify the border, as we aren't able to see the border of each column or row. So we will use this border property for that and will specify the border. So for that we are going to use table border dot all and will specify the color, width, and we can also give styling to the border. So first one is color dot black blue. So it is having blue color. Now we are going to specify the width. So it should be 2, or we can increase it 4. Yeah, we can also give some styling to this border, that is border style. Now this can be anything, like now it can be none, solid, or from border side symmetric. We can give symmetric border also. So this is the, okay, by default is solid. We can specify the none. to make it invisible. So uh, we these are the properties that we can specify to a particular table. Now we can give it some margin so that here we are going to use all and we will specify some margin. So here is the table. Now we can change the text of this rows and columns, and we can uh, make the table in by using this table widget and specifying the table row in it. We can also use a table cell to specify some cells. We can also use other properties of the table widget. So the base so we can create the table in this way. So thank you and have a nice day.